Samsung announced their newest foldable device, the Galaxy Z Fold 7, and to be absolutely honest with you, I have a little bit of a mixed opinion about this phone, mainly because there are some things that are improved significantly and there are some things that are not that much touch at all. First thing you'll notice when you pick up the Galaxy Z Fold 7 is its design. When it's folded, it's only 8.9mm thick, and when you open it, the thickness is an almost unbelievable 4.2mm. To put it in perspective, this isn't just the thinnest fold ever, it is thinner than many traditional flagship smartphones on the market, which is truly remarkable engineering, if I can say it like that. And at a weight of only 215 grams, it is also the lightest fold to date, being significantly lighter than its predecessor and even lighter than the Galaxy S25 Ultra. This dramatic reduction in size and weight makes the Z Fold 7 super comfortable and easy to handle, but I still find it difficult to use with one hand, even when folded, because the phone is quite tall. The frame is made out of new, stronger Advanced Armor aluminum, and the hinge mechanism has been completely redesigned. The new Armor Flex hinge is not only durable, but also allows the phone to close thinner than ever before, and this is quite visible and you can really feel it when you're working with the phone. The feeling is different than what we had with the Galaxy Fold 6, and here we have titanium in the hinge, and I suppose that this is better because the durability of the hinge will also be better. And for the first time on a Galaxy Foldable, the cover screen is protected by a Gorilla Glass Ceramic 2, offering significantly increased scratch and drop resistance, and the back is protected by Gorilla Glass Victus 2. In terms of durability, I have no complaints for now, it feels great, but only time will tell if that's really the case. Of course, the screens are the star of the show on any foldable device, and with the Galaxy Z Fold 7, Samsung had made some very welcome improvements to both on the cover screen and the internal one. Starting with the cover screen, it's now a more sensible 6.5-inch dynamic AMOLED 2X display with a new 21:9 aspect ratio. This might not sound like a huge change on paper, but in practice it makes a huge difference. The wider aspect ratio makes the cover screen feel much more like a traditional smartphone, which makes it easier and more comfortable for typing and overall use in my opinion, but still needs two hands. And when you unfold the device, you are greeted by an 8-inch dynamic AMOLED 2X main display with 120Hz refresh rate. This is the largest screen ever on a Galaxy smartphone, and with its extremely rich contrast, true blacks and vibrant details, it's an absolute pleasure to use. Whether you are multitasking with several apps open side by side, or editing photos or videos, or immersing yourself into a video or maybe some games like Call of Duty Mobile, this large display provides experience that is simply unmatched by any traditional smartphone from Samsung, and with up to 2600 nits of peak brightness and vision boost technology, the screen remains brilliantly visible even under direct sunlight, so you can enjoy your content wherever you are. For my usage, the screens are great, or even more than great, as everything is much easier and more pleasant to do on the internal screens. For both work and for watching videos on YouTube, I primarily use the inner screen and I'm absolutely happy with it. I don't think that I have any complaints. One of the big drawbacks, at least in my opinion, is that there is no longer support for the S Pen, which I personally found extremely useful, as it makes working with the device even easier and more pleasant, especially when editing photos and you need to touch that little detail. I'm definitely taking point away from Samsung for that. When we're talking about the speakers, Samsung has included a decent pair of stereo speakers here that are clear, loud enough, and in my opinion do a good job, but they're not on the level of those in the S25 Ultra, which is understandable given the thickness of the device, so I think that everything with the speakers is absolutely okay and I cannot complain that much. The Galaxy Z Fold 7 is powered by the new Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy, which is a customized version of Qualcomm's flagship processor that has been specially optimized for Samsung devices. This chip provides a significant increase in both CPU and GPU performance, making everything from gaming to heavy multitasking feel incredibly smooth and instantaneous. In addition to this, we have versions with 12 and 16 GB of RAM, with the 12 GB having 256 or 512 gigs internal storage, and the 16 GB version comes only with 1 TB. The hardware here is top level, and no matter what you're doing, the phone won't have any problem with the performance. In my tests in Call of Duty Mobile and Genshin Impact, I had no frame drops and everything was smooth and seamless with no issues at all. Honestly, considering that there is no vapor chamber inside this phone, I expected much more higher temperatures during prolonged gaming, but here I am pleasantly surprised that everything is, let's say it like that, fine. For years, the camera system has been one of the few areas where Galaxy Z Fold series lagged slightly behind its traditional S-tier counterparts, but for the Galaxy Z Fold 7, Samsung had finally upgraded the camera system and made it almost flagship. The main sensor is the 200 megapixel one that we see in the S25 Ultra. We also have a 12 megapixel ultra-wide and a 10 megapixel telephoto with 3 times optical zoom. Additionally, we have a 10 megapixel camera on each of the screens, which I assume will be primarily used for quick selfies or making video calls, and to be honest, I'm happy that it's not under the display. But it's not just about the hardware, because Samsung's Pro Visual Engine plays also a huge role in optimizing your photos and videos, automatically enhancing the lighting, the details, the realism to ensure that your photos look the best in every kind of situation, even in difficult lighting conditions. So this is also something that is very important, not only the hardware but the software too. In my opinion, the camera system performs well, as the level of detail is wonderful, as is the dynamic range, and so is the color consistency between the different sensors. Regarding the video, we have option to film with 8K on the main sensor and 4K with the others, and now I'll leave you some samples so you can judge whether you like it or not, but keep in mind that now you have a log profile, so for all the people that want to have a little bit more edge on the post-processing, you can do it. And this is a video sample from the main camera of the Galaxy Z Fold 7. This main camera is the actual sensor that is used in the S25 Ultra, and it shoots up to 8K with 30 FPS, but now I'm shooting only in 4K 30 FPS because I don't think that we need that much of an 8K. I like how the dynamic range is persistent here. We have many details in the highlights, we also have many details in the shadows, and I think that overall this camera does a very nice job when it comes to video recording. Also, for the nerds out there is a log profile, so you can edit your videos even more, you can edit your colors, and it will give you a little bit of an edge when it comes to post-production. And this is a video sample from the ultra-wide camera, and it can shoot up to 4K with 60 FPS. I'm shooting with 30 FPS because this is the whole FPS of my project. I like how there is a similarity between the main camera and the ultra-wide camera, but to be absolutely honest with you, I expected to see a little bit more megapixels in the ultra-wide camera, so I can crop a little bit or something like this. Overall, I think that the video capabilities of the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 are pretty good, and I didn't expect them to be actually that good and to see that much of a similarity between the camera sensors. So here Samsung receives a big thumbs up in terms of the video quality. And now we are switching to the front-facing camera of the external screen. And this is how the front-facing camera looks. I think that it is very nice. The dynamic range is also very good. The color reproduction is also very nice. It is very similar to the back sensors that we see on this phone, and it can shoot up to 4K with 60 FPS, and again I'm shooting with 30 FPS. And also this is the microphone quality that you can hear directly recorded into the phone. Don't mind the earbuds in my ear, it's for another thing. So this is the audio quality that you can get, and this is the image quality that you can get, and overall I think that the video quality of this phone is very nice. The Galaxy Z Fold 7 runs on Android 16 and the new OneUI 8 user interface. It's full of many AI power features that are designed to make your life easier and more creative, of course, or at least that's what I assume. Here you have options for real-time translations and translations of phone calls, which is very interesting. Also for notices, you have the option for AI to review your text and make it sound a little bit more professional or a little bit more friendly, or to convert it into a text that is ready for social media posting with some emojis included there, and also with some hashtags, which to be absolutely honest I find really handy and really easy to use, and I think that I like it very much. However, my favorite thing for sure remains the circle to search, which is now being upgraded so we can work in any application, making searching even easier. And for those of you who are used to using voice assistant, you have Gemini at your disposal, which is now part of my daily life as well, because I'm using it more and more often, and I like it very much. I like that it is pre-installed and I can directly log into it and just start using it. The photo editing options are also many, and I find the performance in erasing and then generating a fill to be extremely adequate, which is super useful if you want to delete an element from your photos, someone that is passing by, or a car, or a trash bin, or something like this. The artificial intelligence will successfully fill the space that you have deleted, and I doubt that anyone is going to see that there has been something and has been deleted. We can see an option to process the audio in video recordings, as well as the side noises from the traffic, wind and music can be eliminated, and this happens automatically if you want to edit the video that you have taken, and to be absolutely honest, I think that it works very well. Even when walking in the park and hearing my steps on the gravel, it can remove part of them, so I think that everything is okay, and I think that Samsung are going in the right direction when it comes to AI features and overall with the user interface. And in my opinion, the OneUI 8 is now one of the best, if not even the best user interface right now on the market in the Android world, and I think that many of you are going to like it actually, because it is made very well, it is very intuitive, there is a certain level of personalization that you can do with the phone, and I think that in my opinion and for my work, nothing lacks in terms of the user interface. I think that I like it. Something that remains unchanged, unfortunately, is the battery. It once again has a capacity of 4400 mAh, which I have mixed feelings about. Samsung is not using a silicon carbon battery here, which is also strange, but what can you do? I suppose that there is some thought behind these actions. Another unchanged element is the charging, which is still 25 watts wired, 15 watts wireless and 4.5 watts of power sharing. The battery life is decent for a device with an 8-inch screen, but more serious users may find the need to charge it at some point during the day. Personally, I wanted to see faster charging as I am used to it, but on the other hand, I suppose that Samsung is trying to preserve the life of the battery and protect it from excessive heating, which is a very big hazard. Unfortunately, I'm not that happy with the battery, and I have to share with you that I expected to see at least 5000 mAh here, or maybe 4400 milliamps, but with faster charging, maybe something like 45 watts. In a conclusion, I can safely say that the Fold 7 is a good upgrade over the previous generation in several aspects. First of all, I like the idea of redesigning the screens, which are now great, especially the front one. The inner 8-inch panel is more than convenient for work and for entertainment, and the noticeably thinner body definitely makes a great impression. The hardware is also more than good, allowing for both gaming and solid multitasking. If you want, you can stream a display also from it, but the battery is something that I do not particularly like, and it hasn't been upgraded. Despite this, I can't lie to myself that the main camera sensor performs more than well, and it pushes the Fold 7 up in my personal rankings for cameras on foldable smartphones. So overall, I think that the Z Fold 7 is a very nice phone, incredibly good looking, incredibly well built, with a flagship grade camera, with absolutely flagship processor, but to be absolutely honest, I'm not that happy to see that there is no support for the S Pen, there is no improvement in the charging speeds, and there is no vapor chamber, but I understand about the vapor chamber. This is an extremely thin device. My question to you is, what do you think about the Galaxy Z Fold 7? What do you think about the features? What do you think about the things that haven't been upgraded? Tell me down below in the comments. I want to see your opinion too. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, if you find it useful, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, don't forget to ring the bell icon, and I'll see you in the next review.